Hey everybody, Tekking101 here to review One Piece, Chapter 836. It's a good thing I'm putting that up on the screen so I don't fumble at the last second. Like, Chapter 800... Fuck, I was on a roll. Okay, gotta start this over. Chapter 836, titled The Vivi Ricard That Lola Gave. And I'm gonna try out a new format. I'm just gonna go through a bunch of bullet points through the chapter and then discuss each bullet point afterwards. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll try it for 2 videos and then immediately forget about it and then just go back to rambling about the chapter for 20 minutes and then giving you guys my commentary in between. Alright, so, first, as the title of the chapter implies, it is revealed finally in this chapter that Lola is a daughter of Big Mom. She is the sister of Chiffon, who married Beige, and her father, as well as Chiffon's father, is the giant, amorphous, bulbous head guy in the ground, whatever. His name is Pound, so we understand that. Cracker shows up to the forest to eliminate the Straw Hat Pirates under Big Mom's orders. Bruelle also shows up in the forest. She was not defeated by Nami. She shows up and she has captured both Carrot and Chopper in her mirror, using her devil fruit powers. She subsequently breaks the mirror, but it doesn't seem like it kills Chopper or Carrot. Along with that, they give chase throughout the forest. The homies try to attack Nami and Luffy. Nami remembers that Lola gave her the Vivi Ricard back on Thriller Bark. It all clicks together in her head. She reaches into her, I guess, the pocket dimension that exists within Nami's cleavage, because she not only pulled out her Klimatakt last chapter, but also she reaches in and rubbages around and manages to pull out the Vivi Ricard that Lola gave her, and the homies immediately stop dead in their fucking tracks. They can't even go close to her because of the Vivi Ricard. It's emanating the soul power of Big Mom. We'll get into that in a second, which makes them incapable of attacking her. They're like scared of it. We also find out the name of the rabbit and the crane that attack them. The rabbit's name is, in fact, hold on, I forgot about it for a second here. It's Randolph. Randolph is the name of the white rabbit in the forest, obviously a play off of Alice in Wonderland. The crane that it also is riding is capable of speaking, and they serve underneath of Cracker. Cracker barks orders at them, and they just kind of shut up and, listen to him. And then the chapter ends after the homies fail to capture Nami and Luffy. Cracker steps up to plate, and it's revealed that he is one of the big three, the big three in terms of Big Mom's force. He's the third son of Big Mom, and his bounty is 860 million, which Luffy then, of course, gets rearing up to fight Cracker, and that's how the chapter ends. Okay, so let's just start off discussing the title of the chapter, the reason that it's there. So, the title of the chapter is the Vivi Ricard that Lola gave. Back on Thriller Bark, at the very end of that arc, Lola not only gave a Vivi Ricard to Nami, but also explained the importance of Vivi Ricards to them. She explained that Vivi Ricards are made in the New World. You take like a bunch of, nail clippings to a special shop somewhere, and they give you a piece of paper called life paper, and that it's connected to all the, the person that originally it came from, and, depending on wherever they are in the world, it'll go to wherever that is, and if if their life is in peril, if they're dying, then it'll shrivel up. If their life force returns, then it regrows. These are the basic shit that we understand about Vivi Ricards. However, from this chapter, it seems to imply that it's a little bit more than just like a physical connection. It seems there's something going on with the soul of the individual that's like imbued into the card itself. Because that Vivi Ricard, like, as soon as Nami pulled it out, and it's connected to Big Mom, all the creatures in the forest that are also byproducts of Big Mom's power, the soul fruit, immediately started freaking the fuck out. They're like, we can't go near her. Even the boss of the forest, King Bomb, which is like this huge monster tree under the command of Bruelle. Even this huge tree was like, the power emanating from the card, we can't touch them, basically. So I'm gonna go along a better. I think in this arc we're really gonna delve more into like what a soul is in the One Piece universe. I'm coming off of Bleach, so I'm used to hearing all that Ryatsu shit from that that series, but we haven't really delved too much of it into One Piece, but now considering that's Big Mom's whole deal is absorbing soul and therefore the life force of a human being, we're probably going to find out what that means. Maybe that whole process that you make Vivi Ricards is, you know, imparting just a small little fragment of your soul into the form of a card. That's why the card seems to have a life of its own. Like, it not only follows wherever the person is, it connects that way, but, you know, in Ace's case, when Ace was dying, it began to shrivel up. But if Ace's, like, life force were to return, it would have floofed back into existence. So it clearly has, like, a little bit of, like, life force in and on itself. So we're probably going to find more about that there. Moving on to Bruel's power, the mirror fruit. And I may or may not be pronouncing her name right, whatever. I should mention that now because people are going to get pissed. And people got pissed back when he's saying Pecom's name as Pecoms. Fuck him. How does he not know how to pronounce these things? God damn it. Like, I guess I don't. I don't know what else to fucking say. All right, anyway, yeah. So, we get a little bit more about her power. So, she uses her mirror fruit first to dispel the magic she gave all the animals in the forest. All the animals in the forest, she turned into versions of Sanji and Pudding and Nami and Luffy. She uses her powers and dispels it, so that confirms that, okay, that's what she was doing there. We kind of already figured that. She then reveals that she has trapped Chopper and Carrot in a mirror. She immediately then shatters the mirror. She throws it on the ground. It shatters at Luffy's feet. However, Chopper and Carrot don't seem to be killed by this. They don't seem to be injured at all. It's just like the mirror itself is broken. Possibly so. There's no way. Maybe if, like, Bruel left the mirror the way it was, they could have gotten back some way. But then since she shattered it, like, that window to get out is now gone. You know, but Chopper still's peeking out. So I'm imagining they're, like, stuck in another universe and, like, a pocket universe that Bruel created, and every mirror that she creates is like a possible doorway out of it. So I could see that being a big double-edged sword of that fruit. You know, like, you can create, like, all these mirrors to use your powers with, but every time you do, it might be, like, leading a chance for the people trapped to get out. So that's why she shattered it. Yeah, I don't know if it's revealed, like, did she actually create the mirrors herself, or does she just have, like, you know, a shit ton of mirrors in her outfit that she pulls out? I would assume that she could just create the mirrors herself. Speaking of pocket universes, Nami's cleavage. Let's talk about that for a brief second, okay? It's like, the claim attack, I understand. I totally get that. You know, it's your fucking weapon of choice. Keep it on your person at all time. The weird thing is Lola's Vivi Ricard, which was given to her over 2 years ago, I can understand her keeping it like Luffy, like maybe sewing it into her outfit, but this was an outfit she just got from Carrot. I can understand her keeping it in her, like, in her room on the Sunny, but to keep it, like, with her personal, like, at all times, it just seems weird to me, you know? I'm not even talking about Nami's cleavage because I ogle Nami's cleavage. I'm just wondering, like, why she would have that particular item with her that was given to her 2 years ago. And once again, she didn't realize that Lola was one of Big Mom's daughters until just now. Let's talk about her father, Pound, the big-headed dude that was stuck in the ground there, that Cracker pulled out last chapter. He was revealed to be the mother, I keep saying the father of Lola and Chiffon, and he's pleading for his life. But he also brings up something interesting. He also brings up, like, wait a second, Cracker, it's possible I could be your father, too. Because, you know, that, like, I'm a father of 2 of Big Mom's daughters, so I might be your father too. Don't you care about me? You're just gonna lop my head off like this? And Cracker lays down the fact that the husbands that have been with Big Mom, you know, she doesn't give a shit about them. As soon as, you know, the process is made, like, I don't even know, like, this is going into realms that I don't really want to think about Big Mom having sex, but the process of Big Mom having children, is it the same as in just, like, a normal mother, like, you get pregnant for 9 months and then have a kid? Because I understand life expectancy in the One Piece universe is longer than the average in our world. Like, Dr. Kureha's, like, in her 140s, and that's kind of, like, not unusual in the One Piece world to live that long. But, goddamn. Like, damn, but, let's just ignore that for the moment. The men that she's been with, those are all just, nothing to her. She chucks them out of the house as soon as, like bees, how bees work, worker bees are all females, have sex with the drones. When autumn comes, they kick the fucking males out of the hive. They don't got time for that. They don't have time in the food, so they just kick all the males out, and the male bees just fly off and die somewhere in the cold. Same thing with Big Mom. So while, Pound might be Cracker's father, he don't give a fuck. The 43 husbands that Big Mom has taken, I don't know if they're still around in Totland, the same as Pound. Pound just kind of like dug himself into a hole in the forest, and it's just like, no one gives a shit about me, so no one really bothers me. No one cares. That's the sad thing about his existence. It's like, they left me here because they don't care enough about me to kill me. That's pretty sad, unless you start leaking information, as with Pound did. So there's an information there. Pound's probably going to be useful, at least a little bit. I don't see him traveling around with, all the way to, Big Mom's castle or anything like that, but he's probably going to be useful for a time. Nami's probably going to tell him a little bit about Lola, and he might have a request of her involving Lola or possibly Chiffon. Chiffon is the one that married Beige, and then they had a son together. So it was almost all but confirmed that Lola was Big Mom's daughter. Let's see. Okay, so the White Rabbit. Let's talk about that a little bit. I don't really see a lot really to mention here. The White Rabbit is clearly very strong. Even Luffy admits that it's a very strong creature. Uses some... I don't know if it was Randolph or if it was Cracker doing this, but one of them uses some, like, technique which causes much of the surrounding area, all the trees that were given life, to, like, wither away. And Luffy thought it was Hockey, but it wasn't. I think it was Cracker that did it. I think when Randolph was, like, attacking through the trees on the crane, Cracker shouts at him, like, "What the fuck are you doing, Randolph?" And then Randolph gets out and he, like, apologizes, and the crane also is revealed to speak. And when Cracker shouts, that causes, like, the entire forest to, like, dry up. I don't know if that's a deal with his devil fruit power or the fact that he's, like, one of the higher-ranking members in the Big Mom family or something like that. There's really not much to talk about with the White Rabbit. The White Rabbit's probably going to be significant throughout this arc, the same way that it would be significant in Alice in Wonderland. But we don't know much about it yet. I'm going to assume that it's... Carrot said it wasn't a mink, so I'm going to assume... Well, it didn't use electro, so I guess it could be a mink, but I'm just going to say it's a human that ate the rabbit fruit. I think that would be a better way of putting it, And then you have a talking crane, which... I don't fucking know at this point, man. Okay, fine. I don't even know. Talking animals in One Piece, whatever. I mean, Chopper must be so confused right now. He goes to a place, Zoo, where you have like a bunch of talking animals, and it's like, oh well, there's other people like me, and then he goes to this place with, a talking rabbit. I'm like, is it a mink? Is it another human that ate a rabbit that ate an animal fruit? I don't even know anymore, man. Yeah, so it's going to be significant, but I have no idea where it's going to go to. Last thing I should talk about is Cracker himself, one of the three the three sons of the Big Mom pirates, the three sweet commanders. I'm assuming it's going to be one of the... Was he the third son or the eighth son? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he was the third. I know we saw the first son. It was the candy dude that Caesar met with. But anyway, his deal is that he's known as the 1,000 Arms, and whatever devil fruit power he has allows him to multiply his arms. He, like, taps his shoulder, and he's like, one tap, and it, splits into two, like a cracker, snap, 2 crackers, snap, 3 crackers, snap, 4 crackers. And he does this 3 times and makes, like, 3 arms, so 6 on 6 arms, 3 on each side, each holding a sword. He also has a shield made of cracker. And his bounty is 860 million. So the second highest bounty we've seen in the series, right behind Jack. Which makes sense, considering that these are like the forefront of the Yonko's army. These are like the commanders of the Yonko. And we don't really know if the Yonko have bounties. I would assume they would, but Oda's probably going to wait to reveal them, like what the bounty of Big Mom and Kaido really is. Like, would it make even any sense to put bounties on them at that point? I'm simply saying, because the Yonko are so redonkulously powerful, it would take nothing short of, like, the entire Navy working together to take them down. Like, look at the Whitebeard War. I mean, like, all that shit going down, and that's what it took to take down Whitebeard. A man that was already sick, that was on death's door anyway. It took an all-out fucking war and all the battle damage that Whitebeard succumbed to finally drop his ass. So, at that point that the entire Marines had to get involved, all the fucking admirals had to kind of take a shot at Whitebeard at some point. What's the point of even putting a bounty on his head? Like, just for like, the fact that the Navy considers them pirates and enemies? I mean, sure, but it's like, let's look at Whitebeard, for instance. Okay, if Jack had a bounty of 1 billion, let's say you put a bounty of, I don't know, 500 billion on Whitebeard's head. Like, would it even mean anything? Would any random pirate, any random Navy, officer be able to, like, even Whitebeard itself versus an admiral? It still could go either way. But yeah, I don't know if the Yonkos are going to be revealed to have bounties, and if they do, what absurd number that would be. But Cracker, yeah, 860 million. And so Luffy doesn't give a shit, though. Luffy just jumps into attacking him. I'm assuming Luffy's going to jump to Gear 4th in this fight. Not just for the fact of his bounty, but also just how fucking big and numerous that Cracker is. I don't see Luffy straight up defeating Cracker. I think this is more a representation of just, this is like the top tier of the Charlotte family that you have to deal with. And, yeah, so Luffy's probably going to go and fight pretty damn hard. It's either going to result in Cracker being called back to Big Mom's castle for one reason or another, or maybe he has some ability, or somebody else with some sort of ability is going to show up and kind of just, like, knock Luffy away or something like that to kind of, like, end the fight. But yeah, we're going to finally understand, why, because with Jack, we understood he was strong, but we didn't really get to see an all-out battle with Jack, and the Straw Hats. We didn't get to see that, so it's interesting to see. I'm assuming this dude and Jack's power level is probably somewhat similar, I'm going to say. But, yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, the review, the new format I'm going with here. Thanks for watching. And this will be Tekking signing out. Also, in case you haven't heard, the Bleach review, it's going to be the last Bleach review. It's going to be about, at maximum, I'd say 2 weeks from now. I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to kind of work on it piece by piece. That's the reason it's not out, and don't, to try to limit a number of people that are going to be like, where's the Bleach review? Where's the Bleach review? It's the last one, so it's going to take a little longer, but for good reason. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed. This will be Tekking, signing out. Bye.